So now they're going to pull the strings on the global economy. And that's what the sabotage of Nord Stream 1 and 2 was all about. This is a takedown of the civilian infrastructure that keeps human civilization alive, that allows you to eat, to heat your homes, to have a job, to pay your bills. It's all being ripped out from underneath us, a giant global rug pull that's designed to take down human civilization.
The energy issue is a kill shot. We need that. It's not just energy. It's not just electricity. It's not just that. We need natural gas, period. Because as you well know, because you've talked about it for a long time, the Haber-Bosch process is what's required to turn natural gas or coal gas into ammonia fertilizers, right? And so, and that's been going on at Ludwigshafen, Germany since roughly 1915, due to, as you've talked about many times on your shows, Fritz Haber, the German chemist who first came up with the process, and then Karl Bosch, who took it industrial and took it to industrial scale there at Ludwigshafen and at BASF or BASF, and now BASF, I've been there twice in the last couple of months. They are they depend on the natural gas coming from Russia, and that gas is now cut off.
You can't generate ammonia or fertilizer or polyethylene or resins. You can't generate that from solar power or wind power or hydropower or any other so-called green power source. You must have hydrocarbons, which is HC, hydrogen carbon. If you don't have the elements, you don't have modern civilization, period. So with that said, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to make sure our audience understands the basic chemistry behind why we have to have these elements.
As this ammonia runs out, these ammonia-based urea, ammonium nitrate, and all this, as these things run out, we're going to go basically a global Sri Lanka here. I mean, we're going to have a situation where famine will be on a scale that has never been seen before in human history. That's just how the math is working out. Of course, we don't know exactly how the math is working out because we don't know all the inputs, but what we do know is it appears that about 70% of the ammonia production in Europe from 26 different plants is now offline, but that number is clearly increasing. And so, talking with various people in the chemical industry, it's quite clear that that there's going to be high risk of famine in Europe itself, not just Africa. People keep saying Africa. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not paying attention. It could actually happen in Europe by late 2023, if not certainly by late 2024.
The Europeans may end up fleeing to Africa to try to find something to eat. That's how bad this could get. I mean, you're going to have reverse migration here probably in 2023 and beyond.
We see right now, the car factories like BMW and others in Europe, there's no way they're going to stay open. They're going to close.
I mean, I've seen warnings from metals smelting organizations talking about, quote, permanent deindustrialization of Western Europe. It's not like, oh, we're going to shut down for the winter and then restart in the spring. They're saying this is going to disappear for generations if we can't keep this online. And yet, if you don't mind, repeat what you told me. I think one of the people you met with said that there's no way that BASF can continue to function beyond perhaps the next few months. Is that about right, or can you clarify that?
That's about right. The BASF has actually said in public statements, I track everything they say, everything that comes out daily. That's one of the first things I read in the morning. I mean, they've said BASF, because as you know, Germany itself is not going to have enough natural gas and other energy sources to even heat Germany through this winter. It looks like they're going to run out of energy, enough energy to keep things going at latest by February is what it looks like. But I'm thinking probably earlier, just based on this and that. Let's see. But the bottom line is, if they don't even have enough energy to heat homes, they're cutting down forests across Germany. It's unbelievable. I mean, I just drove probably 1,000 miles between driving over to Czech Republic and back from Hungary to Germany and all over Ludwigshafen, and I'm watching forests cut down all over Germany. It's unbelievable. I'm in Ireland now. They're cutting down forests in Lithuania and sending those forests here. And likewise, Poland,
it's the new green movement of Europe. Yeah, I mean, you're not allowed to use natural gas, so I guess they're just going to clear cut all the forests and call it green. What are your comments on the implications now for Western European industry if BASF goes down And we know, by the way, I've seen in articles where BASF says that a lot of their facilities have not ever shut down since the 1960s. And they've even warned, for example, in a Guardian article, that if they shut them down, they don't even know if they can ever get them back online again or what's going to break in that process. Can they get the parts? Do they have to custom make the parts? I mean, if they shut down, what happens? Your analysis, Michael.
Yeah, interestingly, BASF made their own word up called Verbund. Verbund in German means like it's an integrated system where everything works together, like our bodies, like a biological system. When you go to that plant, it's 10 square kilometers. It's absolutely massive, right? So I was there, last month or so, touring around inside. It's unbelievable. And so that word Verbund, I asked one of the BASF guys. I said, "This is a great word. I'm going to start using this. I've never heard it before. Where did it come from?" He said, "We made it at BASF to describe how our processes work, to describe how we bring in the energy, bring in the input, and do all these processes and try to waste as little as possible to make sure that every little effluent, every little off gas, every little thing gets added to some product," right? And so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the breakdown of a complex system. And so, which is what's happening globally as well, right? And it's happening at the national level, or let's say the EU level in Europe, and it's happening at the national level in Germany. And that's why I've been saying to people, watch Germany to see what's going to happen with the EU, and watch BASF to see what's going to happen with Germany. So keep your eyes on BASF. When you see BASF having problems, Germany's basically having a heart attack.
What are the implications, in other words, of the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage, which may take years to repair, if ever? What are the implications for BASF?
Lethal implications for the company. Now, there is plenty of natural gas in Europe. There's a lot of natural gas in Netherlands, right next door to Germany. But the Greens doing their green stuff, along with the World Economic Forum, the globalists, all the infrastructure's there, and they're already pumping some gas, right? All they have to do is turn the valves a little bit more, and there'll be plenty of gas to keep BASF going. It's not even coming up in conversations. I think one by one, you're going to start to see these oil pipelines, these natural gas pipelines, undersea cables, and other infrastructure. Everything's now on the menu. And under my paradigm, the globalists are committing, I'm not even going to call it a genocide because it's way bigger than that, a megacide. I mean, the death toll from these famines alone can easily be in the billions, not millions, not hundreds of millions, way over 1 billion. In fact, at this point, I'm not sure how we're even going to get out of it without going to that level.
What people need to understand is that this is a man-made crisis. Okay, just like you said, Michael, they could turn on other natural gas fields in the Netherlands or even other places across Europe. There's plenty of energy in Europe, but the political class, they want the people to suffer, and they want to destroy the ability for people to feed themselves, to grow food, to heat their homes, to have electricity, to power their cities, and so on. And so this is a global war on the infrastructure of civilians across the world, right now targeting Western Europe, but this is also happening, frankly, everywhere else, or almost everywhere, maybe not in Russia, but it's happening in the United States, it's happening in Canada, it's happening, in Australia, and so on. But this is an attack on the civilian infrastructure. It's like, not only did the globalists didn't really technically declare war against us, they're waging a covert war and just trying to starve everybody out while pretending that they have the solutions in their world of green energy. What can individuals do to navigate this coming winter and, let's just be honest, not die? Right? What can they do?
Right. Networks. First of all, work on your human networks and taking a lead, being a leader at whatever level you're comfortable being a leader. Take charge, whether it's 2 people or 1 person, just take charge of yourself. If you feel like that you can lead more, do that. And be a matchmaker on finding people that need certain skills and people that have certain skills, because together we're quite strong. We can get through this. There'll be some challenges, but I've spent more than half my life overseas, much of that in third world countries. We can certainly get through. and most of us will. The ones who prepare and work in our networks we'll get through this with some interesting stories to tell on the other side.